House bills that I got tonight. Because I don't know if I have enough time to do the executive order tonight because, like I said, it's gonna be lengthy, so it might actually take me till 10:30 to actually write the whole thing. So it ain't gonna be that lengthy, but it's lengthy enough to where I might have to take a minute. So, but yeah. So, like I said, so we're basically going to be acting like a legislative branch, but we're not legislative branch. We're not here to make laws. We're here to, the Privy Council could be talking about, hey, propose this to unicameral, or, hey, we should enforce this some more. You're supposed to be my advisors. Give me suggestions and advice on how I should do my job more efficiently. I'm the final decider. So that's the point of the Privy Council.
Mhm.
So, I give you all roles, and you guys advise me if we need to do some more stuff. So that's basically it. So yeah. But anyway, back to the calendar. Um, Another announcement. Hopefully, people actually watch the meeting. It's okay if they don't, because I'll just bring it up in my podcast probably. Um, or you could bring it up on the Nick Stelter broadcast. Either way, the House Joint Resolution 5 ballot. The polls close on November 13th. November 13th is when the polls close. Once November 13th is reached, once it is midnight of November 13th, it is done. It is over. And it will be decided whether it's passed or not. So, but we got plenty of time. Everybody's got 10 whole days remaining. 10 whole days remaining. So, and of course, obviously, this is funny. I actually have to decide whether to do one or the other. Okay, so on November 10th, which is a Thursday, there is the MAA General Assembly meeting. And of course, not really our first, but our first newly changed Privy Council meeting or Executive Committee meeting, however it could be named. Because it's basically what it is, an Executive Committee. If people don't want to call it Privy Council, we'll call it an Executive Committee. I'm going to be formal and call it Privy Council. So, because we can't be informal all the time. I got to be formal. Like, it's how I am. That's how my mindset is. I have to be formal on things. So, but anyway. So yeah, those two are on the same day. So I'm gonna have to decide if I'm gonna go to the General Assembly or not, or do the executive meeting or not. That is the question. I have no idea, in all honesty. Actually, you know what? I am going to decide. I decide not to. Why? Domestic's more important. Because in all honesty, in my 5 years of being the Prime Minister, I've found out that I've actually worked more on the MAA than I did in Queen and Nix. So, yeah, that's what I said too. Now, obviously, I've done a lot more in the Queen and Nix than I did the MAA. But the MAA actually helped out a little bit because it was still a committee of people. It was still a General Assembly, and there was still a gavel, and there were still votes, and there was many things that were happening. So, and I was getting ideas and suggestions from all other nations that are doing the same thing we're doing, but in their own way. And some of their ideas are actually great, and I'm inspired by that. So I'm taking them and spreading them out everywhere. Like Larry Sharp always says, "Good, take my ideas, so I don't have to do this anymore." So that's basically what he said. Take my ideas, so you don't have to do it anymore. So obviously it's a little different because they're going to keep doing it whether I like the idea or not. But it's like this: if one nation finds out that another nation is doing the same thing they're doing, and they know they're the ones that invented the idea, that should be a good thing. That means whatever you're doing is right, and you're spreading that good information out there to help other nations out. So that shouldn't be against any real issues. Like, there's actually either an organization or a compact or a treaty of some sort out there now that nations have signed. I cannot pronounce the name. I think it's an Austrian or German name. I don't remember. It's named after a nation. That's what it was. But anyway, there's a treaty or an accord or something like that where nations have agreed to not copy from one another.
Mm-hmm.
Flags, like flags, and obviously not government, because there's actually a lot more monarchies than there are anything else. So flags, laws. I mean, I've never been to the organization myself, so I could be absolutely wrong on like all that information, but I'm just going by what I've seen. So, can't copy a flag, can't copy laws, you can't copy ideas. Like, you can't build the same thing they're building, and can't do this, can't do that. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Here I am, like, legit, on Twitter. Whenever I see a socialist or communist nation, you know what I offer them? Hey, I might have a solution of how you could be a better communist country if you want to remain communist. I literally offer them that. Okay, I'm not communist, but I know communism, and I've done communism in a role play, of course. And the communism that I've made anyway, I don't know if it'll work in the real world. That's a whole different ballgame. However, I still did it, and here's the deal. And I'll say this too. I don't even care. I've done this on a game, Minecraft. Okay, I don't care if people judge me over it. I don't give a shit. Okay, So I've done this on Minecraft. I wasn't a communist at first. I was like a democratic republic, an actual one, not the fake ones that are out there in real life. So I was a democratic republic. Like, it was like a two-state system. Like, I was basically Bosnia and Herzegovina, but actual two separate states. But the other state, left me alone to join with a empire, I believe. Like, there was an empire of another nation, whatever. So he ended up joining the empire, and then the World War II, I believe. Yeah, World War II of that world erupted. So the world was at war. So, there was an ally and there was an axis. They didn't really call themselves that, but there was an ally and an axis, and, everybody went after each other. So, but here I am out of the war because I'm broken. I got no money. Like, the nation I got has no treasury. People are struggling, and we need a government. So, in my roleplay aspect, the Communist Party, that really didn't have any players in it. I kind of just went along with it and just made it happen. So the Communist Party of what nation was I? I think I called myself Prussia at the time. Prussia with a P. That was an actual real life country back then. That's like literally one of the only countries I'm actually inspired by that's dead right now. But yeah, great country, very militaristic. Anyway, so in the game, the communists basically took over, legitimately, of course, without, violence, obviously. Because I do believe communism. I do believe that communists can actually take over the government without a violent revolution, like the manifesto says. So I do believe that. I believe they could do it the libertarian way, as I call it. I believe they could do it the libertarian way. I believe people can actually spread the word of communism without force. I believe they can do that. But because there's got to be better ways of making communism better. Okay, so anyway, in the role play, communism's a thing. Make my country. And there was another country that was communist also, but communist in their own way. Here's the unique thing about communism. Communism, what's the word I used? I can't figure out a word anymore. I'm just going to use this word, and y'all and whoever watches can correct me later. Communism embraces tribalism, because here's the thing: in real life right now, no communist country likes each other. But here's the thing, in every country, communists unite, workers of the world unite. But in reality, every communist nation hates each other. Because every communist is different. Vietnam is different from China. China is different from North Korea. Cuba is definitely different from China. Technically, Angola is different than Cuba. And Laos is different from Vietnam. So all those communist countries, right? They hate each other. Here they are talking about unity and everything like that. Workers of the world unite. But they hate each other. Absolutely hate each other. Like, if there's two communist nations, they're going to fight. They're going to hate each other and they're going to fight over whatever the fight's going to be about. Okay? So, like, that's legit how communism kind of works. So, if you're going to... So, anyway, so that guy's another communist country. And I spread my idea of communism to him. And it ended up working for him. And then 2 days after that nation became my kind of communist, 2 days after that, 3 more nations became communist. And then in a span of a week or two, what did I say, 3 so far? So it's 3 nations. It was 7 total. So in a span of a week or two, 4 other nations became my kind of communism, right? Like, we didn't unite or anything. We stayed separate. Okay, because that, like I said, embraces tribalism. Like, we don't have to like each other, but we like the idea on how things are going. So, and best of all, without force. So, the libertarian way. Are you bored, Senator Bree? Am I boring you? Is that what it is? No.
No, I think I'm just getting tired.
Yeah, well, no, I'm tired too. I didn't really sleep well that last night. Or was I right? So it became 7 countries becoming my kind of communist. And you know what the other countries did? Closed their borders and banned communism in their nation because they were afraid that it will spread to them. But here's the funny thing, right? My kind of communism, I'm not saying it'll work in reality. I have no idea if it'll work in reality. But I'm willing to suggest it to somebody if they're willing to become a communist nation. But here's the deal, right? Not everybody will like communism, true. But this empire went so far to basically oppress his own people that to ban a political party, to ban an ideology, and to ban people with that ideology or in that party to run any kind of election in his own country and close their borders to communist countries just for being communist, just for being normal people. We're not like, be communist. No, it's like, no. And we're not fighting them because they're not communists. Like the libertarian way. I know it sounds a little far-fetched. I'm libertarian. I am not a communist. I do not like communism, but I'm willing to suggest good ideas to communism. So, I just don't, so, a lot of countries did not like 7 other countries around them being communist. So one of the ideas was, I got a little bit of time, so I'm gonna try to explain it as much as possible before I sign these bills into law. So one of the ideas was, communism is about collectivity. There's tribalism and collectivity, meaning community has to work together. I don't know about eat together and drink together, all that stuff. Like that, you could really do that on your own time. What I mean is, you hunt together, you assemble together, and you're not forcing it. It becomes your culture. It becomes your culture to do that stuff. Because communism actually, after all my research of doing communism, like I figure out, okay, who are the workers? Okay, they're like communism is always talking about workers. Who are the workers? Who are these? I forgot what they call it. I don't think it's proletariat. I don't think so. I don't think it's proletariat. I think it's another word. But Because it ain't bourgeoisie. I know that for a fact, but I don't think it's proletariat either. I don't remember. It might be. Um, so who are these people? It's like, okay, so it's everyday worker, man and women. Okay, okay, and okay, let's get them assembled. Let's get them assembled, and let's see. What's it say? The workers make the laws on basically everything. So let's see. Who are the workers? The workers are the people. Okay, and what is the people? What's the people government called? Oh, democracy. Communism works with democracy. Here's another thing too. Communism is actually not a form of government. Communism is a form of economic policy where government 100% controls all, to the point where the majority decides what to do with every aspect of the nation. Okay, so yeah, so what I did, in my ideas is that when you're trying to make a communist country, you definitely have to research the difference between a personal property and private property. Private property means property that gives you profit. Personal property means something on your person, like a shirt or a watch or your money or your car or your house. All that's personal, okay? And there's private of what makes you money. Companies can exist in a communist economic society, because that basically means every business has to have a union. Like, that's a legitimate thing. Every business has to have a union in a communist nation, which is okay. Unions are good. First Amendment. That's actually a good thing to have a union. Okay? Now, it ain't for everybody, but it's a good thing to have a union. It's all good. And like I said, I'm not a communist. Like I said, I'm giving my own ideas and suggestions on how communism could work in reality. And I promise I'll go as fast as possible too. But right. So what I did is that I made a bank. Now in real life in the United States we have a central bank already. So I made a central bank. Now granted, my nation anyway in that game, I only had one big city. So the main bank is in the downtown of that main city, right? So it's basically the only bank, but it's also the central bank. So it handles all the financial stuff. Handles all of it. It handles all the financial stuff. Now, obviously in Minecraft, yes, you can create somewhat of a fiat currency using the creative mode aspect. However, we actually were legitimate in survival mode to actually get gold, because gold was the currency. So gold was the money. So with that central bank, right? Here's the thing. Everything is personal, but you do not have a personal bank account. Your money is shared with everybody. Now, in that bank. However, here's the deal, right? The money is only shared with everybody when it's inside that bank. If it's on you, it's your personal, like how I said that word, personal, it's your personal property because it's on you. Okay? But if it's in that bank, it can go to anybody. How to fix that? How to fix, like, oh, so anybody can just go to that bank and take as much money as they want? Depends on the policy. So you can limit how much money each person can take from the bank. And that's the rule we made there. That's the rule we made on that to fix that problem. And it was a great problem. Like, there was waiting periods. There was a certain amount you can only take out. You can put as many as you want. It's similar to a donation. It's similar to a donation of a government, in a sense. So it's similar. And only that too. Get this, and you're not going to believe it. Get this too, right? No taxes. How? How is that possible? No taxes in a communist society. How is that possible, Bree? Oh, right. Because if people like it enough, they will donate money to it. They will just voluntarily put money into it.
Mhm.
then there'll be no need to force taxation on people. If people like at least my idea of communism that much, they will put money into it. They will. Like if they want government in their life, which is the communist economic aspect is, if they want government that much in their life, let them put money into it, but don't force others that don't want it to do it.
Mhm.
So, and this other idea. Now, here's the thing. This was my mistake. When I first did this, I decided that everybody must live in the same, not in the same building, but in a residential building built by the government. So basically a government-run apartment building. So everybody's got to live in the same building in a sense. So, but then, I read a little bit more into communism and looked up the private personal property difference when it comes to communism. So then I decided I keep the apartments for the sake of residency, but I decided to tell people build your own house. Either build your own house or get me to make it for you. Because your house is your personal property.
Mhm.
It is your personal property. So, because I limited how many rooms you can have, all that stuff on everybody's apartment. So, because remember, in communism, it's a collective economic system where everything has to be basically shared. That includes living space. So now houses do not have to do that now on that map. They do not have to do that now. I don't even play that map anymore. That's been done and over with for years. It's deleted and everything, sadly. But yeah, it's deleted and everything. So, but no, it was a good idea. The actual players that I had actually liked it and actually lived in it and whatever. And what else did I do on it? Like I said, no taxes, personal property, separate from private property, and of course there are like I said, there's private companies, but they have to be unionized, so the workers have a right to say what they want about the company and do what they want to do with the company, all that stuff. So there's a little bit of capitalism in there. You can be 99% communist and 1% capitalist, and you'll be fine. You'll be perfectly fine as long as you have some aspect of private companies in there. Here's another thing about communist nations that you could probably do, because communist economic system says there's no currency. So the only thing we could think about is trade then, right? So, but people as people, human beings, they go by the value. They go by traditionally face value. People see gold more valuable than anything else. So if they see gold, they will take it because we are human. So
Except they would need to have the ability to test Seca to make sure it's real and not fake.
well, that part too, but like I was actually talking about the Minecraft aspect. So gold is the currency, and I think that was actually a map rule that it has to be the currency. So I think that's why we had ended up having gold. But I worked in where the communist nation can actually have a currency. So, and it worked. If you have money in your pocket, it's your money. If there's money in the central bank, then it's the government money, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. And not only that, the government cannot stop you from going to the bank and take money out.
Mm.
It's shared money. It ain't just shared for the government. It's shared with the government. So that you as a person is sharing money with the government and everybody else in the nation. So you're sharing that money in that bank. So it's basically it's like a donation box to everybody. That's basically what that is. Now, I'm not going to advocate for it. Like I said, I'm just suggesting the idea to any communist nations that might be viewing. And they can debate on me on this all you want. I actually do want that. I do want to have debates with communist nations to see how we can work them out or whatever. Or any really other nation, how their government can really work better. I mean, everybody was confused that we're a monarchy when we could have been a better republic or something. But hey, there's nothing stopping us of being a republic. I'd rather wait until the people decide if we want to become a republic or not. And it's already been a thing. It's already been decided too. If nobody wants a monarchy, I'm going to propose that we become a crowned republic instead. So the queen, that means the queen will have absolutely no power at all. She is just there for show. Legit, nothing. Just there for show. Okay, she can do meetings, she can say hi, she can do all that stuff, but no royal decrees, no presiding in government meetings. She's just an observer, she's ceremonial, nothing else. That's basically a crowned republic. And now the republic aspect of it is someone becomes president. So there will be a president in the crowned republic, not a prime minister. So that's basically what a crowned republic is. And I'm hoping everybody will agree to that more than a normal republic. But I'll be okay if the people want a normal constitutional republic instead. I'll be okay with that. I mean, we were Americans first before we became Nixies. So, and that's okay. I'm okay with becoming a constitutional republic. But I think crowned republic would be the best bet if people did not want a monarch to have power at all. So, and that's perfectly fine with me. But anyway.
So far, I don't think anybody's got any problems with it. They haven't spoken up yet.
Yeah, really. We're hoping. We can always hope. We can always hope. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Maybe right now my only priority is making the furnace. That is still my priority. I have all the materials.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just got a schedule to go to Lavender Federal County and get it done. So, and like, because I'm most likely going to have to make it either here or there. I'm going to have to make it here or there, but use it over
It
there.
depends on the environment. Like, if it's basically safe to make it in the Pacific spot.
Oh, no. Oh, man, no. There's a video on it and everything. Yeah, I'll show you the video. But no, there's a video on it and everything. It's really safe to make. It'll be messy, but it's safe to make. But no, using it though, I have to go out in the farm. So yeah, I have to go very, very far away from the city. So which is funny too, because I can actually use it here, because it actually really as much of a fire hazard as people thought it would. Like it's like a backyard thing, because it's not a big thing. It's like a backyard thing, and when you're done with it, you can use it as a potted plant.
Just make sure you check all the fire hazard safety things before you actually attempt to use it.
Yeah, I got fire gloves. I even got those giant metal tongs, because I'm obviously not going to pick up the crucible with hot metal liquid in it. So, because that'll destroy the glove. It'll destroy the glove. Because it's fire resistant. It ain't fireproof. It's fire resistant. So I got those big tongs to pick it up, and then, I pour it in the thing and see what it looks like. Throw it in a bucket of water, watch the water boil until it stops boiling, and then, yeah, that's basically how it'll work. And then eventually we're going to get our own, like, I don't know how, our own metal stamp. And what I mean by that, imprint, a metal imprint. To actually, like, imprint our, like, insignia or something.
Oh, like those old envelopes that they used to do back then?
Yeah. Use that on our bars so everybody can know, hey, this is an aluminum bar from the Queen of Nyx. Everybody will know that because it says it. So
that would honestly be really cool. I would absolutely love to see that in action.
Yes, but I'm not an expert at that, so we're going to have to, like, look around. Like, we have to spread the word more. Like, we're having not as much communication as we should. We need to spread the word a lot more. Which reminds me, another announcement. We might have a possibility of a small business might give us some bumper sticker advertisements.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I heard there was a person who's not a citizen that is going to, I think, be part of his friend's business. That's also not a citizen. That's going to make bumper stickers and, like, car decals and stuff like that. And I'm like, advertisement? And it was like, so you're going to be showing off our stuff, right? And I'm like, sponsorship? So it sounds like we have an agreement there. So that means we're going to have a talk about it then. So I'll handle that because I know who he is. So do you, but I'm not going to say it on here.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to.